Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Conor Talk of the Day. Today I wanted to talk about how when you're fresh out of high school, you have the whole world open to you. And these are some of the biggest life changes you will ever experience. From 18 to 20 or 21, you have to figure your life out, supposedly. I mean, it is a little helpful, but anyways. And a lot of people, they decide that they're going to go find themselves. They're going to go travel to Greece or Africa or, go on this big adventure that's going to ultimately change the whole path of their life. And honestly, I don't think it's like that. When you're 18, you have spent the last 15 or 14 years of your life in school with all these kids that come from all these different backgrounds and are teaching you all these new different things, and you're experiencing these moments with these random people. Like, you could be playing in the yard and let's say there's 10 kids. One kid has an alcoholic father, and the other kid has a father who owns like 2 construction businesses and lives a very successful life and buys the kid iPads and all this, but the alcoholic father can't provide for his son. So they live 2 completely different lives, and they're coming at life very differently. And then when you're 18, you're thrown out and you're trying to figure everything out. You're trying to find yourself amongst all these different, like, you think you're trying to find yourself because you've seen so many different people and you've seen how they are. And, like, you've seen this kid who had the alcoholic parent. You've seen who he is as a person. And you think that you don't know who you are as a person because your life is insignificant so far. Because you have so much more to live. But I don't think it's that. I don't think you have to find yourself. I think it's more about creating yourself. Life isn't about finding yourself on some journey. It's about creating yourself through the journeys. Who are you if you don't, like, get out there and do things? You have to try in life. You have to give it everything. You gotta fall before you can get up. All these stupid little quotes that people tell you, they all make sense and they all matter. But you're not, like, you're building off of yourself already. Everything you do is a combination of trial and error. And I think a lot of the time people neglect the journey they've already been on. They push it aside. I got kicked out of my house when I was 17. Moved across the country. I knew nobody. Sure, I grew up here, but I knew nobody. I had to create a whole new image for myself. And honestly, I still don't like the man I am today, but I'm still building. I'm still learning. I have made mistakes in my life. I have I have made lots of mistakes in my life. I've been used for sex. I have loved. I have not loved. I have been a brick wall. I have ghosted. I have been ghosted. I've cut myself. I've stubbed my toe. I've made all these simple mistakes. Luckily I haven't hit the car or anything. But there's all these mistakes that I could have made. And I'm still learning and making mistakes and learning. When you're a kid and you know there's candies in the cupboard, so you climb on top of the counter and you're trying to get at the candies and you fall. And then your parents come and they say, well, next time maybe you shouldn't climb on the counter. You know, there's a lesson to get out of that. Oh, yeah, next time maybe I shouldn't climb on the counter. Maybe next time I'll grab a stool. In a similar way, all these little life experiences are building blocks for the person you want to be. You are making yourself the person you are right now. Even listening to this podcast, that sounds really stupid, but even listening to this is a decision you made. You're not coincidentally finding yourself listening to this. You clicked on the video. You are choosing this to listen. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that there's some grand lesson you can grab out of every little moment. I'm not gonna tell you that I stubbed my toe and I learned that life is meaningful. No. If I stub my toe, I'll probably just learn, oh, I should probably open my eyes. Next time I won't stub my toe. But I am saying that it's important to be able to realize that you are not just a lost soul. Like, you are somebody that is living right now, and you are continuing to live by the choices you make. You will never find yourself doing something just because the will of God. You found yourself doing something because you chose to do it. I think there is a lot of meaning in that. As somebody who, for a long time, my dream was to go to Iceland. And I still haven't gone, and I regret that. We'll get there eventually. I always thought that after I finished high school, I would go to Iceland, and it would just all make sense. I would see the Northern Lights, and then I would know who I want to be. But that's not true at all. Over these past couple of years that I've lived, I haven't gone to Iceland, but I have been creating and building myself into the person I am today. I can sit here and tell you that I don't have it all figured out, but I'm alright with that, because I know that in 10 years' time from now, Conor will know. And further from that, 20 years' time from now, that Conor will know. That's a Matthew McConaughey quote. Whew. You know, it's the story about how some guy asked him who he wanted to be when he grew up. And he said he wanted to be me 10 years from now. And then he kept saying that. And that's kind of just, I think it's really poetic. I really find comfort in that thought. That in 10 years from now, I will have it all figured out. And in 20 years from now, I'll have even more figured out. And in 30 years from now, I'm going to have so much figured out. I'm going to have made my life into this wonderful story. And I just can't wait to see what happens in the future. I talk a lot about who I want to be in the future. Legacy. And I hope that the Conor 10 years from now, he finally settled down, starting to have a wife and kids, And I hope that Conor is satisfied with the journey that he's taken. I really hope that I can find peace knowing that I'm learning still. I'm learning with every new step of the journey I've taken. I really hope that I remember that life isn't about finding my purpose or myself. It's about creating my purpose and myself through my journey. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Conor Talk of the day.